Hi, I'm Mila Martinico, and welcome to Okay-ish Advice, where we don't give you the best advice, but it's advice from people who have lived their life, and hopefully you can learn from it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are in season 2, and today we are talking about being bullied. Why do I feel like I've been bullied my whole life? But these are questions that you guys sent in, so keep sending those questions in, and we are going to answer them. And yeah, let's get started. Question 1. I was bullied as a child and struggled to set boundaries. How can I avoid getting bullied as an adult? Well, let's talk about this. I also was bullied as a kid. I'm just gonna share this with you guys because like when I told this to my kids were like, what? This one time, was it 3rd or 4th grade? I can't really remember, but I just remember that my mom put me in public school because I was no longer able to like qualify for a scholarship. Or actually, I think this was after my dad slept with the principal's wife and I got expelled. Anyways, either way, I didn't get a scholarship. And I had to go to public school. So we're at public school, okay? And mind you, if you've seen my Big Fat Greek Wedding, I was Tula. And then, of course, I grew up in like a mainly like Hispanic area. All of my friends were Mexican, whatever. So there was this like huge fat Mexican kid who literally went by the name of Marshmallow, who decided that it was his lot in life to torture me. So one day, I love to read ever since I was a little kid. And so I'm reading my book at lunchtime, and Marshmallow literally takes a box of ding dongs, which I didn't even know that that's what they were because I didn't eat those, and threw them at me at lunch. And because this could be a whole other episode, my mom was not my advocate for me. I literally went in the bathroom and like was washing the ding dongs out of my hair in the sink, crying. And like when I would walk, like this kid would be like, "Ooh, earthquake." Mind you, this kid was probably like 400 freaking pounds and 6 feet tall. I don't know where he came from in Mexico. But like, yeah, because like nobody was that tall. But anyways, maybe that kid was really like 40. I don't know. Anyways, sorry, that was like a little rabbit trail. I'm like, how did he get so tall? Why was he so big? Anyways, and he was like just a total little crap, And that was just 1 year of school because I've always been thick. That's my ice machine, making ice. Because you're in my house. But I've always been a thick kid, and I was hairy. I had to shave my legs at 2nd grade because they were calling me gorilla. And, it just kind of sucked. And I was kind of bullied at home too about my weight. So I definitely just want to say that I empathize with you. And this set me up for the rest of my life because I wanted, real friends, and I wanted people who saw me for me, and I wanted people who, just like speak life into me and who could see that I was so much more than my weight. Then, of course, being bullied, I've been bullied as a women business owner. I've been bullied by my in-laws. I've, still am kind of bullied by my mom. Sorry, Mom, but sometimes you're real passive aggressive. Damn, I'm just saying it all today. I'm like, Mila, normally with no filter. Mila, knocked up. Absolutely no filter at all. Dang. Okay. Anyways, so the main thing that helped me as an adult not be bullied is setting boundaries, friend. The boundaries. There is a book. It's literally called Boundaries. Read it. Okay? Also, something that helped me is, all those things that are spoken over you in your childhood, the things that people say, sometimes they don't even know that they're saying it. I don't know if they're like possessed by the devil for 30 seconds or what. but it becomes an intrusive thought for the rest of your life. This is something I've really tried to put in my kids, because bullying is just an excuse of the enemy using another person to ruin you and steal your God-given identity. That's all that it is. So when you look at boundaries and you realize that you're not making boundaries with a person, you're making boundaries with a spirit, it changes it for you, because it gives you the legal right to say, this is what God says. I'm going on the counter, like, burp, burp, like a gavel. This is what God says I am and who God says I am. So I'm not going to let you and your insecurities and the doors open in your life say anything about me. It's not going to happen. You guys, let me tell you, as a woman, as a person, even just like last year, okay, I have had people just bully me. I made the mistake of hiring an entire family, and they left really ugly. And so the mom's like, you blah, 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 blah. You think that God says this, but you're wrong. I'm like, I'm not taking advice from you. Okay? Not today, Satan. Go find another hobby besides following me and being obsessed with me. Okay? This is a boundary. You're not allowed to talk to me like this. You're not allowed to whatever. So every time she comments from whatever account, we block her. Like, that's a boundary, you know? Because I'm not going to be bullied by somebody who did something wrong. Like, own it, move on. So in dealing with, like, you know, that whole family leaving and everything, something that I learned afterwards was I got to see, like, look back and see that me not setting boundaries with them was affecting the restaurant. It was well, that's kind of true. Affecting the restaurant in, you know, we were tiptoeing around employees because we were like, oh my God, if they all left, like, it would devastate us. Like, you know, and so we were all like walking on eggshells because of their attitudes. And it kind of empowered them to think that, you know, they had a hold over us. And then looking at my kids, this is my biggest regret. And just like seeing how, you know, one of them like really affected my kids in the way that she was treating them. And then of course, like more came out as, you know, they leave, because I don't know why things happen that way, but they happen that way. And, you know, and going back on the cameras at my house, going back on the cameras at the restaurant, and just like seeing everything from the actual perspective, and then them leaving and being like, why is everything so much better without them? Like, was it hard? Yeah, maybe 2 days. But my God, the peace that came with it, so much better. So boundaries help you because you get to see the perspective of when you don't set boundaries, it doesn't just affect you. It affects every person in your life. It affects all areas of your life. And I really wish that I would have just known the truth, set those boundaries, and just had it done. You know? Gosh, I feel like that's me in a nutshell the last 4 years, really. Like, here I am, setting boundaries, and then every time I set a boundary, the restaurant flourishes. My life flourishes. My kids, you know, I'm home with my kids. Like, I'm not entrusting my kids to anybody. The girls, they're working at the restaurant. My kids are some of the hardest workers that we have. And you know what? It's like being fruitful in their life. So it's beautiful. I'm so grateful for that experience because it taught me a lot about myself and it taught me a lot about boundaries. Anyways, dang, I said I was not going to talk about that. Oh well, it just went by. There are such thing as biblical boundaries, okay? If somebody is keeping you from living your life the way that God says, and something that is true and something that is biblical, bye. Gosh, I don't understand why women are like this either, especially. They get in and you're like trying to be friends, like whatever, and all of a sudden, you know, they become bullies. Or women get together and they think it's okay to bully other women and talk about other women. And it's like, how about no? Like, you're sitting there judging them when there's, what, 3 fingers pointing back at you, right? Isn't that like the saying? Yeah, it's ugly, friends. It is so ugly. And oh my God, you know what my favorite thing is? I'm just so concerned. You are not concerned. If you want to gossip, just say you want to gossip. My God, I'd have so much more respect for you if you were like, listen, I've got the tea and maybe I'll ask for forgiveness later. I don't know. You know, like, just be real about it. Anyways, boundaries. So, find resources to help you set boundaries. The best thing is get a therapist. Let me tell you. I can't even tell you, God bless you, Brandy, how many times Brandy has said to me, is what these people think about you real? Is what they say about you real? Is that really who you are? Is that really how you live your life? Then don't freaking worry about them. Or you can go on the other opposite spectrum, and one of my best friends, Tracy, she just says, boom, because she's from Chicago. So maybe I'll like turn that into bless them. That's better. Yeah. Although, you know, every once in a while, a little Chicago one is definitely needed. But this is the thing. Boundaries are for you, okay? They're for you to live your life. Don't let people walk all over you, okay? Because all you're doing is letting these people keep you from where you need to go and who you need to be. And you know what? I don't know. I've probably offended people. It's never my intention to offend people, but you are going to offend people when you put boundaries out there. And in that whole situation of, you know, like hiring an entire family and them all leaving, and I thought that I could not like live without them. And I was like, oh my God, like they're, you know, I thought I was doing a good thing. I thought that I was letting this we've helped them in multiple ways. Like, what is happening, you know, whatever. I realized there were so many times I should have set boundaries, because the reality is that they were walking all over us. Everybody who worked at the restaurant, you know? And like, in fact, I think, I don't know, the last 6 months, we've gotten rid of a lot of people because that taught me, like, look, if you're not going to respect me, goodbye, because I want to sow into your life and I want to be there and I want to be your hype woman and I want you to succeed. And if you don't want that, bye. Like, our job is to love people, to hype them up to their God-given destiny. And if they don't want to accept that and they want to take that away from you, bye. So I guess like in just all of that, I wish I would have had better boundaries. Even now, I'm still learning boundaries. I'm still learning that, you know, the enemy will take any step that you give him, he'll take a mile. So be conscious, be aware. Boundaries are for you, and they're for you to be a better person. Now, you know, I just recently, again, was in a situation where I was like, you know what? This is my boundary. This person's not respecting this boundary. And I'm out. And I was just like, okay, God, tell me how to do this like in a biblical way that does not have emotion, in a way that doesn't offend this person, that it doesn't like hurt them, that it doesn't hurt me, that it doesn't make me have like an ugly heart, just like take it out. And you know what? God worked it out. And I just kind of was like, and then all those thoughts come back, right? Like, oh my God, what if they're talking about me? Like, what are they saying over there? Blah, blah, blah. Guess what, friend? Be who God called you to be, because guess what will happen? Your character always wins out, okay? It always wins out. God will fight for you. You don't have to fight. Now, let me tell you something though. If I could go back to my childhood, I probably would have punched Marshmallow square in the nose, and that would have taken off like a year of bullying. So, this is just me being real. Like, I go back and I'm like, why didn't I just knock that person out? Like, what was I scared of? That's me and Satan today. I'm like, you know what? I don't like this. You know, not today. I will just punch you out with the Holy Spirit. Anyways, this is my little episode on boundaries. There was really, surprise, only one question. And I don't know. How are you with boundaries in your life? Is it hard? Now my cat's eating. That's a sign to wrap it up. I love you. I know that this was kind of crazy and intense, but I'm feeling it. And don't forget to subscribe and like on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Leave me a good review on Apple's podcasts or Spotify if you feel led to. And you know, if you're my hater, I still love you. I wish you the best, and I bless you in everything that you do. And, you know, this will probably make you hate me more, but that's fine. I love you. I love to see you. I love to feed you. And I love talking with you. Tanti Bachi. Till next time.